adhesives. This webinar will be done in two portions. The first portion will be about the local tile manufacturing, and the second portion will be about the adhesives. The first portion will be presented by Mr. Gary Belder from Ceramic Industries, and the second portion will be presented by Sammy Oliver from Easy Tile. Just a few logistical arrangements. Nicole Russell will manage the chat box for us. So if you have any questions, please type them up in the chat box, and then Nicole will respond to it. This webinar will also be recorded. At the end of the webinar in the next 2 weeks, you will also receive your CPD certificates. It will be issued and it will be sent directly to you. I'm not going to waste more time because we've got a lot of ground to cover. So let's start with the presentation on the tile side. Gary, thank you very much. You can proceed.
Thanks, Marius, and good afternoon to everyone. I trust that everyone's able to hear me clearly. If not, I'll speak either louder or slower, but feel free to comment in the chat box should it be required. Okay. Skulk, I note that. I'll see if I can fix that quickly. Does that sound a bit better?
Gary, it's perfect. We can hear you. You can proceed.
Okay, perfect. Let me continue. So good afternoon. Thanks, everybody. Thanks once again. Just a bit of a background for Ceramic Industries. If we can just move on to slide number 2. Ceramic Industries, we're a manufacturer of tiles, sanitary ware, and baths in South Africa. 2 factories based out in Hammanskraal, which is our Samka floor tile and our Samka wall tile factory. We have Griffin, which is the white body porcelain factory based out in Vereniging, as well as our Vitro red body porcelain factory based out in Vitro with 0.5% water absorption on the red body tile. And then our Pegasus press tile factory also based out in Vereniging. And between the 5 tile factories, we produce around about 150,000 square meters of tiles per day. And then moving across to Krugersdorp, we have Better Sanitary Ware, where we produce a wide range of closed couple toilets and basins. And then Better Bath, the acrylic bath factory, where we do a fair amount of vacuum formed baths, as well as some spa bath conversions and some freestanding one-piece baths. On top of that, we have a tile out in Rutherford, Australia, producing white body porcelain, which is generally consumed in the Australian and New Zealand market. Just moving on to the range of products which we supply to the Ital Tile Group. We supply a wide range of products, predominantly from our Griffin factory. If we can just move on, please, Nicole. Predominantly from our Griffin factory, large range of products with different formats and different sizes, and covering all the latest designs, trends, and really just different formats. So from a Griffin perspective, we have a 60 by 60 format, a 60 by 120, a lovely wooden plank size of 220 by 895. We do 80 by 80, and moving across to Samka, lovely 60 by 60 red body rectified product, and then a number of different wall tiles. Nicole, my screen doesn't seem to be changing. I'm still on the factories presentation.
Gary, if you can just hang on, we've got electricity cut. When Nicole, she just phoned me, they're just downloading it on one of the other computers to see in one of the other on one of the other premises, so that we can get it going there. Okay, there you are.
Okay, it says that I'm a presenter now. So let me see if I can drive it from here. I just want to go back a slide. Okay, it looks like we've got some technical issues. Apologies, everyone.
Gary, just give us a little bit of time. We're just sorting it out. They've got electricity cut now where Nicole is sitting. So we're just moving over to where Gabriel is sitting on one of the other premises where they do have electricity. We'll get it up and running just now.
Thanks, Marius.
Hi guys, can you just let me know if you can have a look and see if you can view it now?
We can. Thanks, Nicole.
Okay. Sorry about that, Gary. You can carry on.
No problem. Are you able to make me a presenter? Then I could possibly drive it from here.
You are a presenter.
I've lost the screen again. I've lost the presentation again.
You are a presenter or set up as a presenter, so you can from your side.
I'm not seeing the presentation any longer. There we go. Okay, Nicole, I'll leave it to you to drive in. So we have a number of different products. Generally looking at woods. So we have a couple of products in the wood format. We have cement in our 60 by 60 and 6120 formats. Some lovely stones, predominantly in the 80 by 80 and the 6120 formats. And the marble range of products in our 6120 shiny polished option. And then in our wall tile formats, what has become very popular recently is the structured profile on the walls and few ranges in our 265 by 800 format with matching wall and floors. Just some images that we'd like to show you as we go through. So if you just move one slide forward, please. Another one, Nicole. So on the plank, wood look plank range, we have 5 different products in the offering with creating a lot of warmth and beautiful different aesthetics with some slip resistant options as well that they can be used outside on patios or around pools. These products come from our Griffin factory and are starting to become very, very popular in hotels and corporate specifications. If we can move on, please, Nicole. Our cements, certainly architectural favorites. And the cement look has been rediscovered, repurposed. It's a replica in ceramic tiles, but there's a lot more versatility that we can create with it. And ceramic tiles are generally a lot warmer than simple concretes and simple cements. And the beauty of the ceramic product is that you can create different colors, different hues of the cement look, and it's probably our best selling style and design at the moment. If we move on to the next image, you'll see a number of different products that we have. So the Spazio and the Spazio range, very, very popular in the Ital tile offering. Spazio does very well. I'm sure some of the architects in the presentation have specified and used it in their projects. If we move on, offering is also used for 60 by 60 formats with slip resistant options that work really, really well. Next one, please. And this is probably our best selling. So the Wembley and the Magnum ranges have done very, very well over the years and still very popular in our our architectural offering for Ital Tile. I'm not going to go through each and every slide because it will be made available to everyone. This 60 by 60 product that was shared a little bit earlier, the Madison range, is made in our Samka factory. It's a red hard body made on our Ecotech body at Samka. It's a 2 to 3% water absorption, red body, 5mm thick, made on the latest technology from Europe called the Continua press. If some of the guests were in our last webinar, we shared the video of the latest technology, and it is available from Nicole should anyone wish to view it. If we can move on, please, Nicole. Thank you. So the stones that we have, the Petra, the Glacier, and the Cronus range present a beautiful, down-to-earth and sleek, fashionable look. They're able to create a classic slate, a quartzite, a sandstone look, and you can bring in all the different colors. And when we go through the trends at the end of the presentation, you'll see different colors that are coming in, not just safe beige and beige, ivory, and gray colors. You'll see the strength of colors that come in from a fashion and a trend point of view. Petra range has done very well. I think the products have got 7 or 8 different faces. So there's a lot of random movement in the tiles, and something that we spend a lot of time and effort and energy on, just showing the variation and movement within the range and within the products that we offer to Ital Tile, obviously being our premium retailer that we work with. If we move on, please. The marbles, I suppose anybody knows marble has been very popular for many, many years. And the beauty of making the product on digital printing in our factories is that we can create the greens and the emeralds and the blacks. Even though it's not large demand at this stage, it is certainly something that is keeping in the marketplace. These marbles and the Carraras have been around for an eternity, and what we're seeing is that there's a number of gold streaks that come in from time to time, some reds, some rusts, and that just ensures that the product still remains fashionable and up to date for the market space. Thanks, Nicole. And then, as I mentioned in the brief opening, our 3D wall tiles do extremely well, create a wonderful geometric patterns and profiles, and wonderful to use them in bars, in pubs, in public facilities, restaurants. They become very, very popular over time. Thanks, Nicole. So that's the range and the offering that we have made available to Ital Tile. We work very closely with them, product development point of view, available for all different needs and requirements, for specifications, for wherever they're looking for product. And Nicole, would you like me to address questions now from that first part, or should we wait until the end?
Gary, I think questions are being handled in the chat box, so let's carry on with your next presentation. Ecotech, please.
Okay. I can't see the chat box. Thanks, Marius. So from an Ecotech point of view, we made a conscious decision some time ago, probably about 2.5 years ago. We made a conscious decision to really promote our Ecotech offering into the marketplace. So what Ecotech offering and the Ecotech product means to us from a manufacturer's point of view is we look at everything that we do to ensure that we are sustainable, to ensure that we are eco-friendly, and to ensure that we produce responsibly. So we've looked at everything from gas consumption, from water usage, from clay usage, and I'm going to share some of the processes that we've used to ensure that we manufacture responsibly. So our quarries, over 80% of our quarries, we focus on sourcing our clay from within a 50-kilometer radius from our factories. That reduces emissions from diesel and petrol that gets burnt in transporting the product. And it has made a massive difference to the clay and the quarries in and around Vereniging and Hammanskraal. Not only do we source sustainably, we also rehabilitate sustainably. So we create a provision, or we use the communities in and around the quarries to ensure that we return the quarries back to what they should be when we started mining from them in the first place. We look at our packaging from a packaging point of view. 100% of our packaging is from recycled cardboard boxes. So we have no virgin material that's used in any of our cardboard packaging. We try wherever possible to recycle the pallets, and we are busy with a process to find PET strapping that is made from recycled plastics. All of our plastic sleeves that gets used on the tile packaging is all from recycled plastics. There's no virgin material used in that either. If I then go on to the tile or to the manufacturing process itself, we have installed over 30 million rands worth of solar panels on all of our factories to reduce the electricity consumption. It still doesn't allow us to run the factory without Eskom supply, but it certainly reduces the demand on the grid during the day. We are investigating different burners to try to reduce the gas usage on when we're firing our tiles. We are one of the pioneers of working with Renogen, who have sourced green energy from the Free State, and we combine the green gas from the Free State. We combine that with our Sasol gas. It's all piped Sasol gas, so we believe it's much better than burning coal to create the gas. And where possible, we've spent a fair amount of time producing thinner tiles that still meet the SABS standard. That's enabled us to get more tiles in a box, more tiles on a pallet, more tiles on a truck, thus reducing the carbon emissions from transport, and then from transport from the stores to the installation sites. It's had a significant impact. And if we just move to the end, please, Nicole, if we move a couple of slides forward. Keep going. Hopefully everyone can see that. So our EcoTech product, there's just a quick overview of the points that I've spoken through. And then the next slide, Nicole. So our EcoTech products, there's 8% less carbon emissions from the dryers and the kilns. We use the energy from our kilns to dry the product. When we compare it with imported products, there's 30% less carbon emissions due to the thickness or the thinness of the tile. In most cases, we get about 18% more volume per load when compared with thicker thicker imported product, and there's 20% less packaging due to the amount of product that we can get on the pallet and in the box and on the truck. It's a big drive for us, and it has had zero impact on the strength. The product still complies with SANS 1449. It still meets the strength tests on the SAB standard, still 24% stronger than the SABS standard. It's proudly South African, still all the global designs, and we continue to innovate to find ways of either making the product stronger or creating greater designs and ensure that you have the latest fashion available for the South African market. Please move on, Nicole. Another one. Oh, sorry, here we go. Thank you. I think there should be some sound with this clip, Nicole. I didn't hear any sound. I hope everybody else did, or it'll be available in the downloads afterwards. Thanks, Nicole. And then if we just move on to the trend part of the presentation. So we spend a fair amount of time reviewing global trends, predominantly at Cersei in Italy and Sibisama in Spain. We do a lot of time investigating what they're doing and what the global manufacturers are doing. And I'm going to read through some of the points on these slides. So for us, trends are about more than simply a temporary preference for one style over another. They often reflect prevailing social conditions and our expectations for the future. It's only natural that societal currents will have implications on design and consumption decisions. So to put that into perspective, about 5 years ago, we would see designs at Cersei and at Sibisama, and it would take somewhere between 9 months and 18 months for those designs and for those styles to come into South Africa to start creating trends. That has changed now with digital print and digital technology. What we see in Italy and what we see in Spain is often replicated in the South African market and made available within 3 to 6 months. So we found over the last few years, there's been 4 design trends that are emerging. And I'd like to go through them now. If we can move to the next slide. So one of them is just reconnecting with nature. So the concept of biophilia, and it's a concept of biophilia which promotes well-being and natural healing, where nature heals an individual. It incorporates ceramic tiles that reproduce natural wood grains, stone, and floral and foliage motifs, and draws on an earthy color palette with hints of green. We're not very keen on green colors in South Africa, but it's starting to come through. Often this biophilia theme often harmonizes or integrates indoor and outdoor spaces. So these are themes that are coming through. As you can see, the greenery, the indoor-outdoor feel, or outdoors indoors. Ceramic tiles enable us to produce the wood grain, stone, floral, and foliage motifs and there once again we see the outdoor coming indoor. In the home sanctuary, these interiors make use of serene, neutral colors and promotes unplugging from daily stress. Warmer tones that result in a homely, cozier look and replace cold shades of grey, which were very popular in recent years. The home sanctuary often features calming and grounding minimalistic stone, cement screed, and classic marble looks like the Carrara. I unfortunately didn't see those images come through, but I think it might be the speed of my connection at the moment. Then we have exaltation marbles or eco luxury. It's starting to give designers a chance to make use of rare and precious materials in the conception stage while remaining ecologically responsible. The application of state-of-the-art technology means exotic and rare marbles in large formats can be emulated without depleting scarce natural resources. This look offers a rich color palette with polished finishes and authentic textures surfaced for sophisticated interiors. We found that in Italy last year, probably the last few years, it would often cost up to 45,000 euros to take out a small marble from different parts of cliffs and then start to reproduce it in tiles. Now that 45,000 euros is probably about 5 or 6 square meters of tile that can be shown. Now with 45,000 euros of development work on tiles, we'd be able to present and show loads and loads of different marbles. So if we can just move on to the video clip on marbles as well. Thanks, Nicole. You're seeing a lot of this bluey, turquoisey color coming through in the latest trends. Then hopefully we'll see some of the rusty reds that are coming through. Creates a lot of sophistication, and the larger the format, the more beautiful the tile seems to look these days. Thanks for that, Nicole. And then finally, the bold aesthetics. The trend is characterized by spaces that are full of authenticity, freshness, fun, and positivity. It's a contemporary style inspired by the fusion of modern and classic looks, offering the opportunity for unique expression of a personal aesthetic. So if you just have a look at this terrazzo type look, in the past it was predominantly beige, ivory, grays, where you're starting to see now some beautiful terracottas, some beautiful rusty colors, some turquoisey blue colors starting to come in to the terrazzo tile. Also produced in our factories with digital printing. Those pink terracottas, the turquoisey colors, becoming very fashionable and very trendy. I guess the keyword, or there's some keywords that are coming through as well. It's fun and it creates a lot of energy and positivity when you see it. Great, Nicole, thanks for that. I think I had 30 minutes to present and 10 minutes for questions. So I've got a few more minutes to go. No, if you can just go back, please, Nicole. A few more minutes to go. These are the trends from Chirsai. I think it's one slide back. These are colors that are starting to come through. Here we go. Trends of wallpapers, marble, stone, subway tiles, terracotta, travertines, woods, different colors accentuating, and then highlights, and then pastel sanitary ware. Here we go. The biophilia theme again with wallpaper, the marbles, beautiful travertine and wood looks, the earthy hues on the subway tiles, terracotta making a comeback. These digital inks with a biophilia design, making the pinks and the roses, beautiful colors. There's some of the rusts and the greens and the blues that are coming through, the emeralds. So this is what we're starting to see, or what we're seeing coming through from Europe. We are producing what we can locally to replicate the European styles and trends, and they will be made available through the retail network that we deal with, the retail and the project network. Nicole, thanks for that. Thanks for the opportunity to share these presentations, and to the team that I've been working with, Patricia and Stephanie at Ceramic Industries. They did a lot of good work in putting these presentations together. So thank you for that. And if I can just move on to chat box and questions now. So is that Lynette who had a hand up first?
I'm just going through here. We've got a question here. All the cement ranges only available in 600 by 600.
They're available in 600 and in 6120. But if you speak to, and you know, if there's meetings set up with Marius and his team, and there's specific development that is required, we'll gladly look at different product offerings, different product options, but needs to be coordinated with Marius.
Thank you. And then the next question we had was, can tiles be butt jointed to allow continuous look?
We generally don't. So tiles can be butt jointed. I guess the simple answer is yes, tiles can be butt jointed. We don't promote the butt jointing of tiles because of the escalation and the speeding up, or the acceleration of most projects in South Africa, where there's insufficient time to cure the concrete. There's often open time on the adhesive. I'm sure Sammy will cover some of that in her presentation, but open time and on adhesive. Significant variations in temperature. And what often ends up happening is that the flooring solution fails, and the reason it fails is because the curing hasn't been allowed to happen, and tiles tent. And when they tent, we all knows what happens with with a flooring solution, fingers get pointed in all sorts of different directions. So they can be butt jointed. We prefer not to, and we recommend that you still continue putting your expansion joints in, putting small gaps in, and ensuring that tiles are installed in accordance with the SABS standards.
I think, Gary, that's going to be handled in detail by Sammy when she does the presentation on adhesives.
Fantastic. Thanks for that, Marius.
Okay, Louis has a question and wants to know what the life cycle is for the printed colors and tiles.
So the life cycle depends on the range evolution with the merchant that we're working with. Some merchants choose to keep their tiles in their range for 3, 4, 5 years. Others like to change their range every year or two. So we often we follow the lead from the merchant. If they choose to keep it for 2 years, we'll then look at something new. But we have the ability to keep the tile for as long as in the range, as long as the merchant wishes to have it in their range.
Perfect. Thank you, Gary. And then we've got a question from Skulk, but it's just regarding the catalog of the products. What I'll do is I'll include the catalog when we send it out, the post information for the webinar.
Great. Thanks for that, Nicole. I think Steffi has prepared one, should you not have a latest updated one.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
I'm seeing Adrian Clark's hand up there still.
Not a problem. To all, Marius answered the question. Sammy will cover the issue about butt jointing and tenting. It is a major issue, and butt jointing is nice, but there are no warranties on it. It can tent within 2 months. It could tent within 12, but it will tent. Fact.
Thanks, Adrian. Do we have any more hands, or are they legacy hands that we have up?
No, I think we're good there, Gary. Thank you so much.
Legacy.
Right, I see one last one. Is it Lynette? Is it a legacy hand?
No, that's Gary.
Great stuff. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for your time. Really do appreciate it.
Thank you. Sammy, if you're good to go, you can put up your presentation and we can start.
Great. Thank you very much, Nicole. Thank you, Gary, for the presentation. Yeah, so from my side, I'm just going to share, yeah.
Okay, we can view it. You can continue.
Okay, can everyone see there? Perfect. So basically, my name's Sammy. I'm from Easy Tile, and what I'm going to present to you guys today is just our range of adhesives, our grouts, and just to tell you a little bit about us. So first of all, Easy Tile started in 1994. We began in Boksburg, and thereafter we moved to Germiston, where we've been based for a long time now. We very quickly stepped up as a front runner in the industry. We became part of the Ital Tile group, and since then we've definitely grown significantly in capabilities and scope of our operations. We are the only tile adhesive manufacturer in South Africa that has got distribution facilities in all the major centers throughout South Africa. We've also extended our facilities into neighboring African countries like Zambia, Zimbabwe, Kenya, and we've also got a branch in Namibia. So we've got a very comprehensive range of products that has been developed with cutting edge technology, and we use a blend of local and imported high quality raw materials to make our adhesives, our grouts, and all our products. And all of our products are manufactured to the highest international standards, and they are designed to comply with the British and European standards. So as you know, very, very high standards there. So most recently, we've expanded our head office. It is going to, we're in the process of busy moving there now to our state-of-the-art facility in Brakpan. So I've got a video that I'm going to show you guys. just sharing a bit of our new head office. Okay, so yeah, that's our new head office. We're very excited to have that fully operational within the next couple of weeks or so. So yeah, moving on, we've got, I want to promote to you guys our warranty. So being part of the Italtile group, sister company to Ceramic Industries. So with regards to all the tiles and everything that they manufacture, we have adhesives that will match every one of those tiles. So any tile that you buy, basically our warranty says that if you have done the correct surface preparation, you have chosen the correct adhesive, or you're using the correct adhesive and grout for that tile type and the application. Perimeter and intermediate expansion joints have been installed. Correct application procedures are followed. So either the SABS standards or our Easy Tile specification. And obviously no structural defects or any substandard building or acts of God. Then Easy Tile will actually cover the repairs of the labor and the materials if that system fails. So that is how confident we are with our products. And yeah, we literally willing to cover the entire installation. So with regards to our specifications and how this warranty comes into place, is that we have general specifications that are available through the Italtiles for any smaller projects, any homes. Yeah, they're just general specifications where you've got your tile type and it tells you what you need to do in order to qualify for the 10-year warranty. For bigger projects, though, our services that we offer with regards to the warranties is that our projects team will come out. We will do an initial site inspection. From that inspection, we will write a site-specific specification. We will offer on-site training to the tiling team to teach them how to tile in accordance with our specification. Throughout the project, we do interval site visits. Then from there, we do a final site inspection once the project is completed, and warranties are granted based off that final site inspection to say that everything has been followed. So they get those warranties in writing once the project has concluded. And for the next 10 years, that project is covered by Easy Tile. Okay, so that's something that we're offering. Then going down into our project range. So I want to from here just start discussing some of the Pro Grip products that you will find inside our specifications and available through the Italtiles. So first of all, we've got surface preparation. First step in tiling, okay, is to make sure that your surface is obviously sound, it is properly prepared. The two products that you will most of the time would find on our specifications for your standard areas would be your base coat and your key coats, which is mixed together to form a slurry And this is applied to the surface using a builder's block brush and allowed to dry prior to installing the tiles. So this is recommended for the following types of substrates. It would always be recommended on any extremely smooth, dense surfaces like your power floated screeds. On excessively porous surfaces like concrete bricks. Often we find wood floated screeds are also quite porous, so we will put base coat and key coat in the specification if we've done a porosity test on the screed. Also non-porous surfaces like steel, you would actually just use a anti-corrosive primer on there first, and then from there your base coat, key coat is able to bond to steel as well. Flexible surfaces like wood, and surfaces that have been previously coated by paint or a bitumen, you would need to chip those surfaces first to expose at least 80% of the surface before you put the base coat, key coat. So this is for your dry areas. For wet areas, we've got waterproofing systems. So on the retail side, you can get the ProGrip waterproofing kit, which is available in a bucket with all the tools that are required for the installation. So inside that bucket, there is a powder and a liquid. There's also a builder's block brush for the application. And there is membranes for all your internal corners as well. So everything you need is inside that bucket. On a larger project, you know, you don't want to have so many buckets left over. So the equivalent product for projects is the Aquaproof 200, which then comes in bigger bags, higher quantity to cover more area and also less wastage there with regards to the packaging. So what the difference between the waterproofing kit and your base coat, key coat, both of them are cementitious surface preparation. But the waterproofing kit is designed, and the Aquaproof 200 are designed to be highly flexible. As you can see in that picture that we've shown there, that's a sample that we prepped where we actually did it on plastic. We peeled it off, and as you can see, it can bend and move. So this is to accommodate any sort of excessive movements, especially if you think about your balconies. A lot more movements in a balcony on a suspended slab. It's exposed to more elements, hot and cold, so you get more expansion and contraction in those applications. So you need a higher quality product that is going to be able to accommodate those movements. It won't crack underneath the tiling installation, create any areas where the water can get through and cause any damage. Okay, so highly flexible. It's also extremely durable. This product does not actually need to be overcoated. You do not need a tile on top of it. So if you just needed to waterproof a wall, you could use it. It's a finished product and then you just paint over it. So it's not only for tiling applications, it's a cementitious waterproofing for any application. Very flexible, it can move and stretch with the building. Examples of interior applications would be obviously your showers and your bathrooms. And exterior applications, you can use it on balconies and flat roofs. Okay, so the next slide I'm going to show you guys is just some things that can go wrong if you don't do your surface preparation in a tiling installation. So the first picture we've got there on the left, all these pictures are taken by me personally when I've been on sites. I've been with the company a very long time and I've been on lots of sites, so I've seen a lot of failures, and I just want to share this with you guys to be able to educate you so we don't have these things going forward. So the first picture you see there is on the left is caused by efflorescence. The tile adhesive delaminated from the substrates because that screed was not allowed to cure correctly. Okay, so need to follow according to on the back of all our packaging, in all our specs, and in the SABS, the different types of screeds and your different types of surfaces have got a curing period. If you don't adhere to that, then what can happen is you can have efflorescence that comes out of this the screed itself, and this can, in worst case scenario, cause your tile adhesive to delaminate from the actual substrates. Better case scenario, but definitely not ideal, is the pictures that you see just there at the bottom. And that is what happens when the efflorescence needs to go somewhere. And in that case, it came through the grout joints because it can't go through the tile. The tile is too dense. And the customer chose a very nice chocolate grout there to match those wood look tiles, but the efflorescence turned all the grout joints white. And unfortunately, when that happens, all that you can do is to continue to clean that surface until the efflorescence is done. And that can take months and months of regular cleaning to get rid of that white powder sitting on top of your grout joints. So that could have been avoided with allowing the screed to cure and correct surface preparation. The next picture we've got there that says tile adhesive cannot bond to dense surfaces. That is a power floated screed. It is way too smooth, way too dense for the tile adhesive to be able to make a bond onto there. So if the surface had been prepared by base coats and key coats, it would have created a rough surface on which the tile adhesive can make a bond to. Okay, bottom there, that was torch on a roof. Torch-on is definitely not a suitable, or bitumen is definitely not a suitable waterproofing layer if you're going to be tiling. Tile adhesive, 100%, anything cementitious actually cannot make a bond to any bitumen-based product. So in this application, it was a roof, a balcony on a roof. The tiles had delaminated, and waterproofing had caused damage to the room underneath. So there was a lot of knock-on effect here, caused a lot of damage throughout this property. So what we did, we lifted up the tiles, we did a waterproofing kit application there. The cementitious obviously chipped away all the bitumen, got rid of it, scabbled it off, and then we did the waterproofing coating there. And yeah, that was 3 years ago and no issues since then. And the last picture on the right-hand side, that is insufficient chipping of a painted surface. And paint is just a very thin layer on the wall. Tile adhesive is not, the tile adhesive can bond to it, but the paint cannot actually hold up the tile and the adhesive. The weight is too much for the paint. So what happens is it delaminates from the wall. Okay. So that's just some information on surface prep. We're moving on now to our adhesive range. So our range is very extensive. Right now, I'm only going to go through probably our most popular products that are used through the commercial division. So first one we've got there is the ProGrip Stone and Glass Mosaic Adhesive. What is beautiful about this product is that it is a 2-in-1 application. So with mosaics, you don't want to be doing a 2-part system. With this product, all that you do is you spread the tile adhesive, you bed the mosaics into there, you allow the adhesive to squeeze through the joints in the mosaics, and you grout right over the top. So ease of application in that regard. Our product you can use in wet areas and underwater conditions. You never need to add bonding liquid to our mosaic adhesive. It is already completely waterproof. It would actually be overkill to add bonding liquid there. Which is a huge advantage on the market, because I know most of the competitive products are standard mosaics adhesives, and you actually need to add bonding liquid to them to make them waterproof. Okay, with ours, it's just add water and go. And also something that's really, really special is that our product includes mildew block. So it's got antimicrobial protection, which means that no mold is able to grow on this mosaic fix. So it definitely protects your joints, and to an extent it even protects your mosaics. Okay, and you can think about this for especially like your showers, your swimming pools. Those are areas where mold is known to breed with the heat and the cooling down, the very quick cooling down in the case of a bathroom. So it's breeding ground for mold and bacteria. Ours, never going to happen. Okay. Next one we've got there is our ceramic adhesive. So that is called FlexiGrip. It is an 18-hour set tile adhesive. So after 18 hours, that means that you can grout and you can put the floor into service. Okay. This is specially designed for medium ceramic tiles that are up to 600 by 600 mils. You can use this on wall and floor applications, and it's suitable for high traffic areas. Now, what's great about our FlexiGrip adhesive, and this is why this product is our ceramic tile adhesive that is included in our warranty program. Okay, we do have cheaper tile adhesives for ceramics available, but we do not cover them in our warranties. This product is part of our polymer modified range of tile adhesives, which means it has got chemical additives inside these adhesives, which allow for increased flexibility, extra strength. So with these products in our range, we are happy to cover them in our warranty because we know it's got the chemical additives and everything to allow for a lasting installation. Now, Flexi Grip, what makes it different to the other ones on the market? First of all, is its setting time. It's got that 18-hour setting time. Most other ceramic adhesives are 24 hours. And this product being polymer modified, one of the key chemicals that we add inside our tile adhesives is we've got bonding liquid inside. All these adhesives you see up on this slide right now, they have got bonding liquid inside them already. So in the case of the Flexi Grip, the only time you would need to add bonding liquid to this product is if you were going underwater conditions. But for suspended slabs, for high traffic walkways, you will not need to add bonding liquid to give it any extra strength or flexibility. It's got everything you need in it already. Okay. Moving on, we've got our porcelain adhesive. So our porcelain tile adhesive is designed for any porcelain tiles up to 600 by 600. It's got excellent workability, ease of use when the tile is mixing, when they're applying, they're spreading. It's smooth, it's creamy. You can use this in interior and exterior applications, indoor and outdoor, and wet areas. This product could go in a permanently wet area in a swimming pool without having to add extra bonding liquid. It's got the equivalent to a 5-liter bonding liquid inside it already. Very high strength, and a very nice feature about it as well is that it sets within 12 hours. Okay, so if you've got a fast track installation, they can start tiling early in the morning, and if they're working through the night, if they're running a night shift, they would be able to grout after 12 hours. Okay, and then next adhesives, we've got our large format tile adhesives. So in this instance, we've got 2 adhesives that match up with the large format tiles. So large format tiles basically are any tiles that are 800 by 800 and larger. As we've seen in the market, the trends are just going that the tiles are getting bigger and bigger. So yeah, it's a trend that will not be going away anytime soon. So Easy Tile developed our own special adhesives to be able to accommodate this trend. Okay. What makes these adhesives special? Okay, let's start with the XXL. The XXL adhesive, first of all, it is designed to be used on the floor only. Okay. The cladding adhesive, this product can go wall and floor. The reason that we've got the cladding adhesive as a separate product is because the cladding adhesive has got an anti-slip ingredient in it, which means that as the tiles get bigger, they also get heavier. So you don't want to have any slip there. You don't want the tiles to tent on the wall. So the cladding adhesive is the adhesive that would be in our specifications for any large format tiling on the wall. What also makes these products special is that they have a 12-hour setting time, and they've also got an extended open time. So open time is when you spread the tile adhesive on the surface before you bed the tile. So large format tiles take longer to bed. So what can happen is if you're using a product like your Flexi Grip or your Super Bond, they've got quicker open times, which means they start drying quicker on the floor, and they have a layer of skin that forms over them. And then that layer of skin actually affects your bond. Okay. Whereas with your XXL and cladding adhesive, they've got the 30-minute open time, more time that it stays soft and allows the tiler to be able to work with it. Okay, so when we train the tilers on site, we train them to use a 22mm notch trowel, which allows you to have a good bed height. After the tile has been bedded, your bed height should not be more than 6 to 7 millimeters thick. So 22mm notch trowel, and we also recommend pulling straight lines in your tiling application, because when you pull straight lines like they're in the picture, basically all you need to do once you've bedded the tile is to move that tile in a back and forth motion. It breaks the lines behind the tiles. So if you had to lift up that tile, you would see all of the time you would basically have almost 100% coverage on the back of those tiles, which is definitely what you want. According to SABS, you're not allowed anything less than 80% coverage on the back of a tile. So if you do not follow the correct procedures for installing the tiles, what can go wrong? So as you can see here, they ran the trowel lines in different sort of directions. And when they tried to bed the tile, you actually only had coverage in those two corners of the tile. So that entire middle section was actually hollow. If you had to knock on that area, it would make a hollow sound. Okay. So yeah, far less than the required 80%. The picture on the right-hand side there, that is a case where the tile adhesive actually skinned. The tilers took too long to install the tile, so when they actually bedded the tiles, it had that layer of tile, that layer of skin on top of it. So the bond between the adhesive and the tile was not very good, which also caused the tiles to delaminate. Okay. Moving on, we've got our grout range. Now we have 3 grouts available through Italtile. The first one there is the ProGrip waterproof grouts. This comes in 5 kgs and 20 kgs, and it's available in 11 different colors, as you can see there on the right-hand side. We've got the ProGrip water repellent grouts. Difference between water repellent and waterproof, first of all, is your setting time. Your water repellent has got a 12-hour setting time. Waterproof has got a 24-hour setting time. The water repellent grouts also, it's probably the most advanced grouts in South Africa at the moment. It's got the mildew block. So again, with the water repellent grout, no mold can grow on there. Second part of that is that it's got water beading technology. So water beads actually just sit on top of the grout. So if correctly applied, it will not actually change color when it gets wet. It's almost like a grout that's got a built-in sealer. Okay. Also available in 11 different colors and in 10 and 20 kg bags. And then we've got the ProGrip epoxy grout. So epoxy grout is your chemical resistant grout. So if you've got high stress applications or areas where they're going to be using a lot of cleaning chemicals, bleaches, they're going to be cleaning often, for example, like butcheries, bakeries, industrial kitchens, hospitals, you want to use an epoxy grout in those installations to make sure that it's going to last through all that cleaning and that heavy duty cleaning. And that is available in white and gray. Okay. So quick pictures, what can go wrong with grouts? So first of all, you can get color variances on your grouts. Now that is normally caused by improper mixing of the grouts. Grouts has got a lot of pigments in it. It needs to be mixed thoroughly. We recommend leaving it to stand for 5 minutes and then remixing again to make sure that you've got an even color dispersion. Yeah, there's actually, grout is a very finicky product. You need to make sure you're doing the correct amounts of water there. You need to make sure you're cleaning it properly afterwards. So there's a lot with grout. You need to be very cautious when you're applying it to make sure that you get that even color. You can also get a case where you have too much, if you add too much water to the grout, it can become powdery. And cracked grouts, it can also be caused by overwatering, but most of the time it's actually caused by movements, excessive movements in the tiling installation, which brings us to our final part of the presentation and the very important part in our specifications, and that is movements and perimeter joints. Now, when these aren't installed, you can have cracked grout like you saw in that picture there, and the reason that happens is because there is movement in the installation. So the first thing that the client normally notices is that the grout is cracked. But when you go through, you actually find that the tiles have delaminated. You knock those tiles, they will sound hollow. And then normally when we check, it's an instance that there have been no movements and perimeter joints installed. So what are these joints? You've got your tile panel movement joints. These need to be installed in 3 meter to 5 meter intervals in both directions. So 5 meters would be on your interior ground floor levels. 3 meters is on suspended slabs and exterior applications. Every 3 meters, you install a tile panel movement joint. Perimeter joints, you need to install these around all your immovable walls and objects like your stairs, your columns. They need to be around the perimeter because you never tile up against the wall. You always leave a gap and you install a perimeter joint. These joints obviously need to extend through the tile adhesive and the tile. And then you've got your actual structural movement joints. So these ones will be present in your slabs already, in your actual structure. So if these are present, they need to carry through your tile adhesive and your tile. You cannot tile on top of them. If you've been in tiling enough, or even just in enough areas, you've possibly could have seen when the tiles crack, and they crack in a straight line. Normally, once you lift those tiles, you find that there was actually a movement joint underneath there that wasn't carried through the tiling installation. So the product that is on offer from us there in the ProGrip range would be the polyurethane sealant. We have it available in these 280ml cartridges on the retail side for your smaller areas. Normally on projects, what we do is we have it available in 600ml sausages. Okay, so it goes a lot further. The other product that is part of that is the backing cord. So if you look at those pictures on the right-hand side, you've got your it's a diagram that shows you there how it works. So basically what you do there is you clean out the joints all the way down to the substrate itself. You push the backing cord inside that joint, so it falls up halfway. And then from there, you put your PU sealant, your polyurethane sealant, over the top. What's nice is this polyurethane sealant is available in different colors. So it will match your grout joints as well. Okay, so whatever grout color you've chosen, you can choose a polyurethane sealant that will match it, which basically means that at the end of it, you're going to have a seamless look. You're not going to have these joints that are breaking the look of your tiling installation for aesthetic purposes. Okay. Then as far as perimeter joints go, you can see there in that diagram at the bottom. So you do not tile up against the wall, you leave the gap and you clean out all the adhesive from that joint, and you can install the backing cord into that joint. Because what we often find is if you're doing wooden skirting, then yes, fine, the perimeter joints are clean. But when it's tiled skirting, what we often find, the tilers will clean that out with the best of intentions, but then they come and they install those skirting tiles. They've got adhesive on the back of that tile, and as they squeeze that tile onto the wall, the adhesive goes back inside that joint. Okay, and obviously that's your adhesive set's hard. It's the same as tiling up against the wall, and the pressures build up in the tiling installation, and that is when you get tenting. So next thing I've got here is just some pictures of tenting for you guys. So I have been on countless sites where tenting occurs. Unfortunately, it is not something, it's in the SABS standards. It will be in every single one of our spec, but it's not something that is followed through in every single installation. So as the pressures build up, you get your expansion and your contraction, your hot and your cold. Your interior, your buildings are always moving. So what can actually happen in this case is the pressures build up from all sides, and normally somewhere in the middle of the room, that is where your tiles will actually pop up. They will delaminate from the adhesive, and you will find tenting occurring. Okay, unfortunately, very common in South Africa. In winter, we actually call winter popping season in the industry, because that's when I got out the most complaints, because that's where we've got the case of very cold temperatures in the morning. You've got your areas contracting, and then we've got the winter sun that comes up, it comes out, it heats up those tiles, and you've got that expansion at very rapid rates. And then again in the evening, the temperatures drop very quickly. So you've got a lot of expansion and contraction in winter, and that is where we most often find this tenting occurring. And this is going back now to that question of the butt jointing of the tiles. Why it can't be done is because you need to allow for grout joints, because they relieve the stress in the tiling installation. and you need to allow for these movements and these perimeter joints to accommodate that stress even more, so that you don't have this problem coming up. Okay, so that is my presentation. Thank you very much. And yeah, I'll stop sharing my screen and open up for any questions that you guys have got. Okay, Nicole, I'm not sure if there was any questions.
No, sorry, I'm actually just looking. No one's actually had any questions. I think you've done a good job there, Sammy.
Okay.
It looks like you've given enough information, but if anybody does have any questions, by all means, please pop me an email, or then I'll just get Sammy on board to respond for us, or one of our commercial agents. But I think that's it from our side. Sammy, Adrian, thank you so much.
It's a
Marius,
pleasure.
from your side.
Thank you, Sammy,
Pleasure,
and
Nicole, thanks.
thank you for the presentation, Gary, and thank you for the presentation, Sammy. I think, Sammy, the problems that we see 99% on sites is what you have presented to us. And this is where we see product failing, is in installation and making mistakes with installation and with adhesives and with layout of tiles. So thank you very much for a comprehensive presentation here. Any questions, you can direct it directly to Nicole. She will direct it to the relevant people to get back in contact with you. And like I said in the beginning, within the next couple of days, we will also send out the CPD certificates. Everybody, thank you very much for attending the webinar today. I hope it's been informative, and looking forward to hear from you. Thanks.
Thanks, Marius, for those words, and to Sammy, well done. But I think that everyone really, we need to think about